Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025, 10 a.m. Central. We're a little bit after. In beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And today we're going to talk about Ernie Gygax Day. Hopefully some of you got some games in yesterday. Officially, Ernie's birthday, September 2nd. Often falls around Labor Day, so if you played at any point over the weekend, I hope you were celebrating the day. You know, if you're playing any time this week, if you think you missed it, you didn't. Get a game going, roll up a character, roll some dice just for fun, and think about Ernie and his legacy. I mean, can you imagine when there wasn't a D&D yet, and you're 13 years old, and your father comes up to you and says, "Hey, there's this new game I'm testing out. I'm going to help a guy from Minnesota, and he and I are going to put some rules together, and then I'm going to type it all up, and then we're going to publish it, and we need a name. Elise, that's on you." He always has. The all evidence points to Elise having come up with the alliterative name of Dungeons and Dragons. So there's a little bit of trivia for you if you ever want to know. So what happened yesterday? Well, we ran our game. We ran a game over at 330 Center Street, the birthplace of D&D. Yolanda, very kind to allow us to do that from time to time. And yesterday was one of those times. So we celebrated Ernie's Day in his childhood home, playing first edition Dungeons and Dragons as Ernie would love. Yolanda had somebody staying at the bed and breakfast, a young woman whose boyfriend is a longtime D&D player. And she wanted to surprise him and asked if there was a game going on. So we made room so he could pull up a chair and join us. We had our usual, hey, let me switch over to the other. There we go. What we got there? There's how the table is set for tours and stuff with a lot of D&D memorabilia, which is always nice. And this is two pictures I kind of chopped them in together, so a little line through the middle. But look at those figures from the cartoon and the Dreams in Gary's Basement, that great documentary. Well, the Greyhawk box set, those early modules, and of course, original D&D box. And then, starting from left to right, no, let's start right to left. We got Stephanie and her daughter, Alexandra. There's Sarah. Alex Gygax stopped in after he got off of work, said hello and happy Ernie Gygax Day. That's Cody and another Alexandra, the couple I was talking about before. It was his birthday. There's the wonderful Donna Gygax who came by. She brought a bottle of champagne that they had left over from the wedding to share and toast Ernie. She gave a wonderful toast. Look on Facebook. Vince has a video of the toast that he shared online. You can check that out. There's Daniel Caldwell of Griffin and Gargoyle. And there's Vince Ragusa of the Maroon Room Prog Rock Band. And, of course, as always, DM extraordinaire, but a player in my game is Shane Bradley. So remember him. Vince has a whole bunch of Dwarven Forge stuff that we break out for the games now, and the entryway was to the left. There was a trapdoor actually in the ceiling, and they were coming in and they made their way into this huge room. There's 3 big tunnels heading to the surface, which were being used by these flail snails, and they gave the party a pretty good fight. Of course, they figured out that magic was not working very well. They checked that door on the left after they dispatched the flail snails and found this magical brazier It's actually, the base of it is a hexagon, and there are ancient dwarven runes on each side, and a flame that gives off no heat and makes no noise. And there were some magical effects when they tried to mess with us, so they still got to figure that out. We'll see how that goes, but good luck to them. In any event, it was a great time. Everybody had a lot of fun. There was a lot of laughter and a lot of warm feelings about Ernie. And we talked about his passing and his legacy, and celebrated his birthday, I think, in style, in the way he would have wanted, right, with a first edition D&D game. So he would have enjoyed that. But he's the man, right? I got another picture of Ernie I wanted to share that I didn't. I've been sharing a lot of pictures on Facebook and elsewhere in the couple of weeks leading up to Ernie Gygax Day to encourage people to participate, to play a game, to think about Ernie and his contributions. Early play tester, obviously very influential in the shaping of the early game. A writer and designer of games in his own right. What was that picture? There it is. There was Ernie on August 10th, 2023 at the Lake Geneva Public Library when they dedicated the section up the stairs to the right to the Appendix N, which was the section in the first edition Dungeon Master's Guide at the back, where they had some inspirational reading suggestions. Gary threw some together for people to help DMs get their handle around building a setting and putting it together. Hey, there's Vince. Vince says, thanks for arranging the evening for us. Oh, it's my pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. I had a blast sharing memories about Ernie with everyone, and the toast by Donna was beautiful. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've told the audience that if they look you up on Facebook, they can find a video of the toast and enjoy it themselves. Ernie dedicating the Appendix N section. That's the throne of reading you can see up above to the right there, too. So remember that. But, he was very happy with his father's legacy and how Lake Geneva was embracing it. Of course, Luke, very instrumental in helping make that happen by starting up GaryCon the year after Gary passed, and making that a very positive experience for so many people over the years. 3,500, 4,000 people are showing up for that now, right? And it started off at the American Legion Hall, went to the Ridge, which is now the Lodge, the old Interlaken, and Grand Geneva, where it's settled in, and he uses just about every square foot of that place at this point. And EGG Con is now happening in July. Heidi got that going. EGG Con 3 will be next July, right around Gary's birthday, late July. So look for that. The other thing you want to do is go to Dragon Days. This year is the third annual Dragon Days. That's a fantasy festival that celebrates all the TSR contributions to fantasy fiction over the years. It's amazing how much of the fantasy fiction market was dominated and proliferated by the works that came out of Lake Geneva and TSR. So look for Dragon Days in October 4th and 5th. That's coming up very shortly, just a month away. So make sure to make your plans for that too. So there's stuff happening in Lake Geneva year-round, plenty of stuff to do, and mark your calendars September 2nd for next year to celebrate Ernie Gygax Day. Hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for being in the chat there. And we will make sure that we do more of these as days go by. Janelle Jaques in October. I think we've got Beginning of October, Dave Arneson's birthday. Jim Ward, we got to start a Jim Ward Day. I think a lot of these luminaries should have days that we celebrate and use as an excuse to game. What about you? Let me know. We'll talk about it later. And let me just sign off here and say thanks, everybody who popped into the chat. I do appreciate it very much. We've been having a little discussion about Ernie Gygax Day, which happens every September 2nd. Mark your calendars. The show streams live on Twitch each Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central, and it's archived on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow, all of that fun stuff. And if you want, you can become a Patreon supporter. Even at the free level, it supports the channel. Join such luminaries as Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Carlos Slicing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Farndon of the Antipodean D20, Dave O'Brien, Unauthorized User, Death Angel Shadow, Heidi and Eric Gygax Garland of Gaxland, Vince Ragusa of the Maroon Room, an excellent prog rock band, Daniel Caldwell of Griffin and Gargoyle, Christian Garcia, Stephanie Lesniewski-Gruchow, Cera Toppilopkus, Colin Szablewski, and, as always, DM extraordinaire Shane Bradley. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.